reasoning.
Yeah, I think a point I wanted to make earlier is that like we did this COT stuff and this tool use thing as ways to get beyond the limitations of GPT-2. And so the way that we get, you can actually, I've done this experiment, you can actually, if you give me infinite amounts of unsorted list and sorted lists, if I can do chain of thought, and I can do every single step and teach it to do every single step, then I can actually get it to do sort and become a Turing machine at test time. And similarly, an even cheaper one that is much easier to do is you teach it and you say, hey, there's this Python function called sort.
Just call the function.
Just call the function. And like, that's the easiest thing to do and you don't need backprop at all. And so those are the two hacks. Now, well, Francois, this is solved. Like, we're done, right? No, because I needed to know what sort was. What happens if we didn't know what merge
The
sort?
chain of thought is not going to inherently discover sorting from first principles. It's finding it from our historical knowledge of everything it's trained on.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the Demis had this whole thing about like the ultimate test is the Einstein test. Like go back to 1911 and then like have it rebuild all the physics up until now. Similarly, let's just pretend that we only had bubble sort. We knew no other sort system. If you chain of thought it on all the bubble sort input and output, it will only do bubble sort. In fact, it won't even do bubble sort that well. Like, so this is the best situation. And then the tool use, of course, it can only know bubble sort. I want to get to merge sort. How do I discover merge sort?
And I think the interesting thing just to emphasize here, because it may not have been extremely clear, is there already exists some type of recursion that people are used to in LLMs, which is chain of thought we mentioned earlier. But that is a recursion that's happening in the token space of the model's outputs, not inherent to the model itself. And that's sort of the fundamental limitation, is that the model can only do a feed-forward one-shot output, and then we basically just have this hack that if you keep letting it output things, then it can read its outputs and do somewhat intelligent-seeming things with it. But it seems to sort of be upper bounded by the data that we feed it, that the labs are very hungrily buying right now, and not this sort of like inherent underlying recursion.